So here it is, the brand new Campagnolo Super Record 13, the world's first 2x13 speed group set. 26 speeds, people, what a time to be alive. The new group set is wireless, of course, but has quite a few improvements over the first wireless group set the company launched less than 2 years ago. And in a massive U-turn, they've gone back to their iconic thumb shifters, which they ditched on that group set 2 years ago. I've seen the group set in the flesh and it does look really good. So let's talk through the main details and changes and share my impressions and reactions on the new group set, and let me know what you think by dropping a comment down below, and figure out if Shimano and SRAM should be worried by a new group set and whether this evolution is too little, too late, or exactly what the Italian company needs. And interestingly, in the press kit for the new group set, the company likes to remind us they were the first to launch 10 speed, then 11, 12, and now 13 speed. But being first doesn't guarantee success, because over the past decade, the company's fortunes have declined. It's no longer in the World Tour peloton. Very few bike brands spec the group sets on their bikes, and very few cyclists, especially new cyclists, would choose Campag. The choice really is Shimano or SRAM. So to a lot of riders today, Campag is seen as a quirky, historic brand rather than a mainstream option like Shimano and SRAM. But this new group set might change all that. The new Super Record 13 builds on 50 years of history, starting way back in 1973 when the first Super Record defined what top-tier road components should look and feel like. Fast forward to 2025 and Campag is taking another big swing. 13 rear gears, fully wire shifting, revamped ergonomics, is lighter and cheaper as well, and a clear signal they are ready to compete in a rapidly changing and evolving market. The reason for 13 speed isn't just a spinal tap thing, but to give us a wider range cassette with smoother steps between those sprockets. There are 4 new cassette options, 1029 and 1033, so similar to SRAM, 1132, and then a brand new 1136, which really competes with what Shimano and SRAM are offering, so real world usable gear ranges and not just race focused stuff like they have offered in the past. These new cassettes fit onto a regular N3W free hub body, so the cassette isn't actually wider than the old 12 speed stuff, the spacing is just narrower. And they have experience with 13 speed, launching a 1x13 Eccar gravel group set quite a few years ago. So this isn't their first rodeo when it comes to 13 speed. And that spacing between the sprockets is a key difference to what SRAM is offering with their 1x13, where they have the same spacing at 12 speed and the whole cassette is wider but allowed thanks to the new UDH dropout transmission direct mount system they have on those group sets. So Campag are going narrower but on the same free hub body, so no new wheels are needed for a new group set. But narrower isn't always a good thing, but Campag reckons it is when it comes to shifting speed, because it claims shifting speed is improved by an average of 2 seconds faster going up the entire cassette and down the entire cassette compared to its old 12-speed group set. Along with the 4 cassette options are 7 chain set options as well. I'm really excited by the lineup here, because in the past Campag were all about the needs of the pros, but now they are focused on the needs of us regular cyclists as well as the pros. We're a brand new 4529, which I think is a really good option for sporty cyclists and all-road bikes and also gravel as well. So a really nice option for those of us who want and need low gears. And I speak personally here as somebody who really has embraced low gears that especially SRAM have offered on their group sets over the last few years. But fear not, there are still race-ready options, including a full balloon at 5539 as well. And I really like the fact you can mix and match all 4 cassettes and 7 chain set options as well, and use the same front to make across all those options. So that's really cool, makes choosing and mixing and matching much easier than before. The chain and cassette have a brand new black chrome finish, which is apparently claimed to reduce noise and help them last longer as well. There's also a new power meter option which they launched at Sea Otter last year, which bumps up the price of a group set by about €1,000. This isn't Campag's first wireless group set, but it looks far better and far more refined than the first attempt less than 2 years ago. The rear derailleur, for example, is an exoskeleton thing of beauty, with all unnecessary material reshaped away. And they say the rear mech has a 25% reduction in material, and boy, does it show. Also much lower profile as well. It's also compatible with direct mount and UDH dropouts as well. It's not using the UDH in the same way that SRAM is, but it's now compatible with those dropouts like on the Trek Madone, for example. The front mech gets a carbon fiber outer cage, a brand new battery with better tire clearance, and is 10 grams lighter than the old one. It also handles all chainset options as well, so that's really cool. Runtime for Groupset is a claimed 750 kilometers, so less than the 1000 you get from Di2. But I do like the fact you can charge your batteries either on the bike, like Shimano, or remove the batteries and then charge them in your house. Campag has always been a fan of saving weight, and the new Groupset is lighter than the old Groupset and claimed to be the lightest on the market, with a weight of 2,445 grams, which is a bit lighter than SRAM Red Axis and Dura Di2, but the actual weight would depend on the cassette and chain ring and power meter option you go for. And then to the brand new hoods. I've always been a fan of the ergonomics of Campag shifters over the years. The shape and materials always fit my hands really well. But with the launch of their Super Record Wireless 2 years ago, they did something that most people could not believe, and they dropped their famous and iconic thumb shifter for 2 buttons in an attempt to copy Shimano. But they've done a full U-turn and the thumb shifter is back, combined with a paddle behind the brake lever. Whether this is a good thing or a bad thing depends on your experience of Campag Groupset. If you like Campag and you are a Campag fan, then getting rid of the thumb shifter was a step too far. Just what were they thinking? But now it's back. But that attempt 2 years ago to get rid of the thumb shifter and go for a more sort of common Shimano-esque layout was clearly an attempt to appeal to people put off by the sometimes quirky shifting of the thumb shifter on the hood. So I see why Campag went down that route 2 years ago. As much as it shocked people a step too far, it definitely alienated their core Campag sort of customer base, and that's why I've done a full U-turn. But whether it pays out in the long term remains to be seen. Your reaction to the Groupset is critical to the success and future potential of the Groupset and other Groupsets from Campag we hopefully might see in the future. But I guess it's a lesson in sticking to what you're known for and sticking to your roots and your history and heritage and not deviate too far from those roots. And in the hand, the new hoods feel really good and the shape of the thumb shifter does work well. It's less of a paddle, kind of sticking out lever, and sort of a bump you press. And like Shimano and SRAM, there's now a extra shift button inside the hood, on the top of the hood. You can assign to different functions, to extra gear shifting or control your computer when riding in the hood. So my first impressions and reaction to the brand new hoods is they are successful and an improvement on the one they launched 2 years ago. And I do like the way the thumb shifter works. I like the extra bonus buttons we get now as well. And the shape of the hoods are really nice. A longer, flatter, broad area like SRAM Red Axis, so an easier, more comfortable area to put your hands. Really nice materials as well, very nice rubber tactile material. I do then think that the new hoods are a success and a big improvement over the Groupset from 2 years ago. But whether they are better than Shimano or SRAM really comes down to your personal preference on shifting layout. They are all very different. So really the best way is to try a Groupset, get your hands around it and see how it feels, and you might be surprised. Definitely worth going to a Groupset with an open mind if your bike shop has one in stock, just to see how it fits. You might be impressed, you might be swayed from Shimano or SRAM or whatever your preference is right now. On which note, let me know what Groupset you're currently using by dropping a comment down below. The new Groupset is disc brake only, of course. There is no rim brake option, I'm afraid, and the brakes have been improved a little bit with lighter calipers. There's a new sintered brake pad option and floating disc brake calipers, something which the likes of Hope Technology have offered for many years. And Campag brakes are fantastic. They probably have the best disc brake technology of all the Groupset manufacturers. The modulation, the feel, the power is just fantastic. But sadly, not enough people have used a Campag Groupset to really experience how good the brakes are. So to pricing. Super Record is the company's top tier flagship Groupset, so really expensive. But interestingly, they've actually priced it at roughly the same level for retail prices as SRAM Red Axis and Shimano Duro Di2 at £4,000 or nearly $5,000 without a power meter, or an extra $1,000 with a power meter. And that is a 17% price reduction over the old 12-speed. So it's clear in the past Campag have gone, okay, Shimano pricing is there, we'll go above it to be just more expensive because we're better. But now they've realised to really compete with Shimano and SRAM, they have to be on a similar level in terms of pricing, because it's hard to justify that Groupset being so much more expensive when it isn't that much better really in terms of features and performance. So the Groupset is roughly in line with the Groupsets, which is a smart move. It's still expensive, still a top level Groupset, and Shimano Duro Di2 been out for nearly 5 years now and is heavily discounted if you shop around about $2,500 at the moment, but SRAM Red Access is still at retail prices because it's still fairly new. So that pricing is refreshing, but still a serious chunk of money. But what Campag need to do and follow in the footsteps of SRAM here, and take a leaf out of that book, is follow up this new Groupset with a cheaper record and or Chorus version very soon. Not in 2 years' time, or not even next year, this year. They need to follow up in the next 12 months with a more affordable Groupset, because I'm sure lots of people will like what Campag have done here with the new ergonomics, the new derailleurs and the new chainset options, but it's too expensive for lots and lots of people. So if they can bring out a cheaper version, one that's half the price, with the same gear ratios, the same technology, but just replacing the carbon with metal, so a bit heavier, I think they might be onto a more successful journey than they've had in the last few years. So in summary then, Super Record 13 feels like Campag really staking a claim on the future. It's not just one more gear, it's a brand new platform aimed at bringing their wireless technology, improved ergonomics and wider gear range and 13 speed to the Italian faithful. But with Shimano and SRAM already well ahead in market share and ecosystem maturity and more price options, Campag will need more than elegance and heritage to win riders over. Still, if you're already a Campag fan or simply want something different from Shimano and SRAM, it might be worth a closer look or at least a test ride. So what do you think then? Does Super Record 13 finally make Campag competitive again, or is it just a beautiful relic in a market racing ahead and away from an Italian company? Let me know in the comment section below, and of course don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more deep dive tech breakdowns like this. And if you want to see a review of the latest SRAM Red Access Groupset and how it compares, watch this video right here.